Thierry joins me now from the European Landowners Organisation, a partner of the forum, and here we are at the 8th Forum for the Future of Agriculture. And you've been there every step of the way, Thierry. So for you, what are the most important themes for today? And how does the forum give you a good sense check of views, collaborative ideas, controversies that are within the community?
I think this forum is coming at the right time in order to discuss what will be the future for agriculture, because we are just out of the reform shallows. Get this reform, we are unsatisfied with this reform, and we know that this reform is leading us more or less nowhere. So there is no future for this reform, which means that already the midterm review might generate a very serious reform. And in order to mitigate the effect of it, we do believe that this forum mission is to build a bridge between the environmental community and the farming industry.
What would be your direct request for that midterm review? You know, what needs to be different?
I think at one hand, farmers need to be secure and should hear from the public authority there is a clear recognition of the need to be profitable. And once this is secure, they can take care for environment. At the other hand, farmers have to understand that if they don't care for environment, they will destroy the long-term business they are managing. So there's a real need for such a bridge, and the motto should be clear. Now, the greening was not very clever, because greening is allowing people to do, if they want, very few, if not nothing. A lot of farmers are exempted for any greening. What we have to do and to take into consideration is the real environmental delivery farmers can do, and maybe taking into consideration ecosystem services provided by farmers, that would be a real step forward.
The idea of environment versus industry, economics versus agronomy, you know, we're debating the circular economy as one of the themes today. Do you think that one on one side, one opposed to the other, do you think that cycle of opposition is broken now?
No, I wish it is broken. I would welcome NGOs to be more pragmatic, more mature, to enter into the debate, and not to be frightened by science and by evolution, and farmers to be adapted and listening to the concerns of the other party. So really, the only way to get out is to make things possible by integrating innovation, science, environment, and trying to make a new policy of it. But I'm calling for a change of mentalities, not only from the farmers, but also from the NGOs.
And being frightened of science is something that affects the European policy-making community here in Brussels as well.
Yes, in fact, the risk-adverse mentality is typically European, and I think it's a disaster when other continents, other regions don't have this attitude. And if we continue like this, not only we will harm our environment, but we will also harm the food and the farm businesses.
Enhancing natural capital, looking at waste as a resource, you know, in terms of those topics and trends, what does your organisation, what do landowners feel about, you know, the benefits of job creation, for example, in the circular economy, and how farmers can contribute?
In fact, I think farmers knows by definition what is circular economy for long, because they apply it already in their farms, but maybe not as it is described by the European Commission or this institution. So we welcome it. By essence, we understand what is circular economy. Now, we can take a lot of advantage, and there are new developments like using human waste of all kind of waste and making it product of it, and not a sub-waste. And from that product, making fertilizer of saving a lot of natural resource. So we do believe, and we strongly support circular economy as an option towards the future. It has to be a bit more defined. When you speak about natural capital, well, it's our business natural capital. So it's really in our heart, and we are deeply committed in this political evolution toward the future. The only problem farmers have is that politicians are dressing facts by new words because then they can sell it. And this might sound a bit strange for the farmers, but well, natural capital is really what they are managing and what they do and what they have to take care of.
We have new commissioners, of course, now talking to us here today at the forum.
This morning.
That's right. We also had a different viewpoint, an international viewpoint, the Sustainable Development Goals from the UN. And we've had Gandhi's grandson, Arun Gandhi, talking about seeds of change, being an activist in terms of peace. What have you made of the different messages we've heard? We've also heard from Jeremy Rifkin talking about the third industrial revolution and having a strong message for farmers there.
Oh, I guess, but what I do expect from Rifkin is of course different of what we heard from Gandhi. I think Gandhi, it's a call to think about what we are doing, and it's quite relevant in such a conference. Amina Mohammed was really interesting, and she's inviting us to develop not problems but solutions, and we do really welcome what she said. The other speakers, let's think about. I was extremely interested by Ricardo Sanchez Lopez, stating what they can do, what they are achieving in Latin America, because here in Europe we are blaming Latin America not knowing what is happening there. And of course we know that it's not only a big partner, but might be one of the major challengers for our farm European business. So I think they are on the right tracks. They are doing better than we do believe. And if from this conference and what we will hear from Rifkin, we come with some conclusion and when some offer in terms of policies, in terms of new solution, I would be delighted. And I think this is exactly what this conference is about.
You've always been someone who talks about innovation and entrepreneurship as being part of the job of farming and landowning, being undervalued to a certain extent. It was interesting to hear today to hear Amina Mohammed talk about women and their role as landowners. To hear her view of how the young need to be encouraged, and I know succession planning and so few farmers being young and those generations coming in are big considerations for the ELO, big concerns going forward.
Yes, but the problem of farming, is it in Europe or in Africa, is that the job is not well considered for different reasons. In Europe it's because there is too much pressure from outside and there's a huge administrative burden and there is no end of their week. When in Africa, they all want to go to cities. We have been facing that 50 or 60 years ago. They believe that city raise the profile and they will have a better standard of life. And therefore, it is so difficult to have the next generation. But we should encourage the next generation by building this bridge and telling them that what they are doing it well. It's considered by society, it's considered by everybody because they are managing well the environment, as well they are providing food. And this is really the objective we have to develop, or to make sure we manage properly the environment and we manage properly the food and health issues.
Well, I'm sure you enjoy collaborating and sharing all these views, and please do enjoy the rest of the forum today, Thierry, as always.